Okay, so the recording starts, and okay. For this morning, we will be discussing about the subject. I really wanted it to, excuse me, I really wanted it to be a virtual class orientation. It is because there are really things that are needed to be discussed, no? That is why I really wanted this, kaya para if ever you have questions, I can directly answer your queries. And then we are 26, very good, no? Because I'm expecting 30 plus, 37. Dami pala natin. Okay. That is why this one is very important. Now, although I believe and of course I acknowledge we have problems on internet connectivity and of course our lack of resources, lack of gadgets, for example. But then again, we still have to pull this semester. Dapat nating maitawid ang semester na to para matapos na ito, no? So that is why I really wanted you to be cooperative. Now, do not forget that this subject is one of your major subjects. It's just that tinuturo siya sa College of Education. Baka makalimutan ninyo na um, major subject ito, no? This is also an equivalent to your biology subjects in CNSM, your chemistry subjects in CNSM, and of course your physics subjects in CNSM. It's just that dito siya tinuturo sa college natin. So please take a serious face for this subject, but do not worry naman. No, I will not give you a lot of burdens. I do not know if I am trying to give a nice impression for this subject. But then again, we will try to do things naman, no? Lahat na ay pwedeng mapag-usapan if there would be problems about the subject. That is why this class orientation is very important for me. I believe most of you or some of you are my advisees. So my eyes are on you, no? Sa mga advices ko dyan. Okay, so I will now share my screen. By the way, if you have questions, you have to raise that after the presentation. And before ko makalimutan, the main purpose why I record this class orientation it is because this video will be uploaded sa Google Classroom natin. It will be uploaded to our Google Classroom. I will be sending you a copy of this through email, and then perhaps I can upload this FB Messenger natin. Para naman, later on, if you have questions, if you have problems about the subject, nakalimutan ninyo or hindi nyo gaanong narinig yung napag-usapan during the class orientation, this virtual orientation, ay pwede nyong balikan. Okay? This is one of the main purposes bakit ko to ginawa. And then the other thing is that yung presentation na gagamitin ko for this class orientation will be uploaded naman sa Google Classroom. I'll be sending you a copy sa email and then I'll be sending a copy sa Messenger. So papadalhan ko lahat ng pwedeng papadalhan ko yan ng materials para naman wala talagang reklamo na, sir, hindi ko po nabasa, hindi ko po narinig, and hindi ko po nakita whatsoever. Okay? So gagawin ko yan. Actually, most of your reactions and most of your problems, I did imagine on that. Parang na-anticipate ko na. That is why I really have to work on it. That is why, again, my my challenge here or ang mga ginagawa ko every time I will be preparing materials is ang effort is hindi lang doble kundi triple or quadruple, no? That's my effort, and I think hindi lang effort ko yan kundi effort din ng ibang teachers, and of course kailangan ko din ang effort niyo. Actually, ang kailangan ko talaga sa inyo is cooperation. That's it. So I will be sharing my presentation. I'm so sorry because by the time I will be sharing my presentation, especially for those who are using smartphones, and then yung screen nila ay Hindi naman gaanong kalakihan, parang hindi niyo po makikita yung kabuuan ng text ng presentation. But again, it's okay. All you have to do is to listen well because I'll be uploading naman the material later on sa Google Classroom natin. Okay, I'll be showing you now my presentation. Okay. So once again, good morning. This is SCE135, Earth Science for Teachers. Okay, I believe we already have ideas about Earth science. I think it is because during your senior high school years and Earth and Life Sciences. So you probably have an idea on this. So this is not something uncommon, unusual, and then you are very well rounded with this subject, no, probably. So by the way, sa mga hindi pa nakakilala, and of course, this is for the benefit of my advisees, and of course, to the SCE, to the whole BS and Sciences family. I am Fernando Rebicoy Siquete Jr. That is my very complete name and the shortened one. And of course, I prefer to be called Sir Fer. No? I do not want to be called Sir Fernando because Fernando is very masculine. Hindi siya bagay sa akin. Charing, no? The way that I am talking, um, the way that I'm moving, I think Fernando is not appropriate talaga, not really applicable to me. So that is why, para safe talaga, preferably gusto kong tawagin ng surfer. Okay. So lahat naman tinatawag kong surfer. Anyway, a little background for me again for the benefit of all. I am already teaching for 8 years, now starting from 2012. I graduated Bachelor of Secondary Education major in biology. So I majored in biology in MSU IIT. And the same year, 2012, I got absorbed sa IIT din, no? Kung saan akong department nang galing, sa Department of Science and Mathematics Education in the College of Education. I was absorbed there, and I am working there for until 2018. Okay, so I'm working there until 2018 until it is because natanggap ako sa inapplyan kong job sa Philippine Science High School. I really wanted to teach in Pisay, no? Because especially all BS and sciences, you all have the chance to what you call this, to apply in the Pisay in Philippine Science High School. It's just that you really have to have your master's degree. So that's actually your edge, no? And then of course a PhD degree is a big plus, no? If you're going to apply in Pisay, the salary is nice, so nice, no? And then the benefits also, grabe, bongga sila. So I applied sa Philippine Science High School in Zamboanga Region Campus. It's in Dipolog City. So by the way, I am from Iligan City, but then again, I transferred to Dipolog City. Doon ako nag-work for a year. I ended the contract exactly May 2019. Sir, why did you end the contract? It is because it is a contract basis kasi. No? Wala pang item that time kasi bago pa yung campus and they have problems. So wala pa talagang item for yung tinatawag nila special science teacher, no, ganyan. So wala pa. So yun. And then prior to that, I applied naman para parang may backup ako. Ito talagang naghahanap talaga tayo ng job. Naghanap tayo ng pera kasi nga we are the breadwinner of the family, no. And then, that is why prior to the expiration of my contract in Pisay, I already applied in the division of the Pitan City. No, of course, di ba? Excuse me. Magkatabi lang naman yung Dipolog City and Dapitan City. So, prior to the expiration of my contract, I did apply sa division of Dapitan City. So, DepEd yun, no? And then, fortunately, I was I was included sa tinatawag nilang RQA. You will be familiarized that more later on pag nakapasa na kayo ng let and then you will be applying for an item, no? Sa isang school. Okay, so nakasali naman ako sa tinatawag na top 3, fortunately. And then, by June 2019, I received a call from the division office, and then I was hired. But then again, I saw some opportunities. I actually tried applying in MW's main campus, no? Kasi nakakita ako ng post sa Facebook. But that post was very quick. Very quick lang talaga yung pinakita. And then, sandali lang. Okay? Very quick lang talaga yung pinakita. And then, nawala lang. So, parang good thing talaga na nakita ko yun. And then I tried. Actually, I am not expecting to be accepted kasi nga it's a university. Although I came from MSUIT and then working there for almost 6 years or 6 years, pero hindi ko yung parang hindi nasagi sa isip ko na okay, I can be accepted something like that. So I tried applying. Actually, it's very hard for me to it's very hard for me kasi nga the traveling from Dipolog to Iligan City and Iligan City to Malayan. Fortunately naman nakapasa, nakuha, no? So I was get in MSU main campus exactly October 1, 2019. So until now I am teaching. So that is my background, no? By the way, I will be graduating this semester for my master's degree para matapos ko na to. Hopefully, inshallah. Okay? So that is me, your teacher, and then of course your advisor at the same time. Okay, let's proceed to the subject mechanism. By the way, this is our classroom. In the absence of our typical classroom, the four walls of our classroom, sa new building probably, we will be now using the virtual classroom in the name of Google Classroom. No? MSU main campus is using Google Classroom as their LMS o yung tinatawag natin na learning management system. And then the good thing of Google Classroom Children is that you can manipulate it, no? Anything you want, no? Kasi nga napaka-friendly ng features ng Google Classroom, so it is very okay. So we will be using this one. Dito yung parang tagpuan natin, yung tinatawag nating tagpuan dyan sa Google Classroom natin. Apart from we have text messaging, and we also have FB Messenger and so on. This is our main tagpuan, our Google Classroom. Okay. And then uploading of materials. Please take note that all materials, kung titingnan nyo yung SCE135 natin, I do not know kung happy kayo or na-shock kayo ng bongga. Kasi nga, parang naging kompleto yung modules na nandyan. No? So, kompleto na yan. That is until module, ilang modules ba yan? I think 13, if I'm not mistaken. No? Parang ganyan. So, napakadami, nakakompleto na yan. And then, ready na yan. Sir, meron ba yung laman lahat? Meron namang laman every module, pero hindi talaga kompleto kasi I have to put something pa on it, no? And then, of course, every time, lahat talaga, if you're going to look at, meron na kayong expected na makikita sa loob ng module na yan if you're going to open it. So, hindi ko muna kayo inallow to open each module talaga, exploring each module, baka kasi ma-stress kayo. Pero if you, now, kasi because we are now starting the orientation, right after the orientation, we are now allowed to open the module, each module. Pero, wag nyo namang kumpletuhin, download everything, no? Kasi nga, I will be giving instructions pa. Kung titingnan niyo yung every module natin, wala pa po hindi pa siya kompleto. Hindi pa siya kompleto in a sense na kailangan ko pa yung i-furnish and then kailangan ko pa yung bigyan talaga ng instruction. So please do not play with the modules yet. You can explore na the module. I will be allowing you now. But then again, in terms of interacting with the module, do not use it sa muna, no? So I'll be giving you specific instructions on that. Okay, so this is the place where I will be downloading the materials. Sa classwork tab natin, dyan nyo makikita yung mga kailangan ninyong sagutan, kailangan ninyong panoorin. For example, by the way, children, let me assure you na gagawin ko talaga ang lahat because I believe na we really have problems on internet connectivity. I believe you have problems on money. I believe you have problems on the gadget, for example. So, ang gagawin ko talaga dito, I will be uploading, ano ba yan, files in all formats na pwede ninyong gamitin. Like, for example, sa PowerPoint presentation na ilalagay ko as your lecture handout, I will be uploading the PDF format, the PowerPoint format, and then the JPEG format, the picture format. Para naman talaga lahat ay pwede talaga sa inyo. Walang takas, parang ganyan. And then of course, please do not forget that I will be uploading a pre-recorded lecture video. No? I will be uploading that. Nakadepende na yan sa inyo kung papanoorin nyo or hindi. No? Basta as much as I can, I will be uploading pre-recorded lecture videos para naman ma-explain ko sa inyo yung detalye ng content ng particular topic. Nakadepende pa rin ha kung titingnan niyo yan. Nakadepende pa rin din yan kung i-download niyo. And then sir, hindi kasi namin ma-download sir kasi nga yung internet. Sir, hindi namin ma-download kasi ang bigat ng file. That is why, again, maghahanap ako ng ways for that video na maliit lang yung file. So I'll be posting different types of video files, like for example, MP4, 3GP, and so on, para pwede talaga sa inyo. Okay? And then of course, if you are going to notice the materials, they are sorted by week. But later on, that by week, kasi nga gusto kong malaman ninyo that um, yung modules natin, the same with the other teachers, they are using the schema of a weekly basis. Okay? So yan din yung picture ng modules natin. Anyway, we'll discuss it more. For class learning activities, you will be notified if there will be new materials na ma-upload ko. Like for example, di ba, yung syllabus natin na may na-upload ko, right after ko in-upload, nag-post ako sa Google Classroom natin. I message you through text messaging, and then I posted it sa Facebook Messenger. So yan yung gagawin kong notification. Para naman hindi kayo ma-stress na palagi kayo nag-open. Ano kaya baka may na-post si sir na assignment na hindi ako na message. Para baka may na-post si sir na quiz, hindi ako na message for example. Okay? So para hindi kayo ma-stress, always kayo mag-open. Because I really believe na yung iba pa, para sila makakonect, kailangan pa nila pumunta ng rooftop, kailangan pa pumunta ng bundok for example, kailangan pa nila pumunta sa may bandang kalsada. So that is why kung mag-open man kayo ng SCE135 na classroom, yun yung binibigay ko na notification. That's the time that you will be opening the SCE135 Google Classroom. Pero nakadepende yan. Nakadepende yan sa inyo na. Baka kasi meron kayong hindi natapos, so you can open. Baka kasi you will interpret my statement na okay, so hindi ako mag-open pag hindi sinabi ni sir. You are free to open the Google Class the classroom. But then again, if ever lang na meron akong in-upload na materials, I will be notifying you. Okay. And then technically all activities are all good for a week. Kung titingnan ninyo, lahat talaga, I will not be giving you an activity that is good for 1 day, good for 2 days. I will not give you a deadline na okay, after 3 days, kailangan nyo i-submit yan. No. I will make sure that all activities will be submitted or meron kayong time 1 week for you to work on it. Okay? And then except for some activities that require a longer time. If ever there would be activities that would require longer time, it will be stated in the instruction. That is why children, you really have to read the instructions given. I will be placing general directions, general instructions, but do not forget also to read the specific instructions because those are very important. Especially for the quizzes and assignment, you really have to read them, no? Because this is now the problem of not having face to face, no? Kasi sa face to face, pwede tayong every time magklase, pwede tayong mag-istorya. But for this kasi, we will not be doing this every time. This virtual meeting, we cannot do this every meeting. No, we will be doing this virtual meeting once a month or twice a month. Nakadepende talaga kung kailangan. Okay? So meaning to say, yung pagbibigay ko ng instruction will be more on text. Hindi text na more on text. Okay? So it is expected na yung instructions ko talaga, although specific instructions siya, you would notice na parang ang haba ng instructions ni sir. No? Because the instruction that the teacher should make, no, should make for this time of pandemic, dapat talaga um, comprehensive and very specific. Okay. And you have to read that. Excuse me. And you really have to read that, no? Because dyan nakasalalay yung quality at yung output ninyo, basically. I hope you understand that. Next, the deadline. Sir, bakit ba talaga may deadline? Akala ko pandemic, pandemya, bakit may deadline pa? The main reason and the obvious answer to that is, of course, if we don't have any deadlines, if you don't have any due date, paano tayo uusad to the next level? Correct? So that is why if you are to look at the module, naka-weekly basis yan, but it will be stretched out. No, it will be stretched out, it will not be stretched in, no, mas stretch out natin yung deadline. So kailangan talaga natin ng due date kasi nga baka free lahat na mag-submit, na baka yung activity 1.1 na isasabit mo pa next month pa, di ba? So hindi tayo usal at the same time, hindi ako makapag-check properly ng performance ninyo. That's why due date is very important. Okay. Make sure to read the instruction whenever there will be new upload of materials. Again, instruction. Take note of the specific direction that will be given in every activity or quiz. In your classroom, the due date of the activity will be indicated. Right after you open, yung pag-open mo sa classroom, yung sa labas talaga niya, before you click it, by the time there will be due date, it will be reflected on the outside. Okay? And then, since marami kayong gagawin, I believe ang dami yung units, at saka hindi tayo the same sa IIT na sa IIT kasi may batch sila. I think we have two batches. Lahat ng subjects, if you have friends in MSU IIT, no? Lahat ng subjects nila na nasa MW, na-fall sila sa first batch. So, mean to say, first 2 months lang nila yun gagawin. Yung subjects naman na nasa, ano ba yun, TTH, next batch na naman yun, another 2 months. Okay? So, hindi talaga, if you have eight subjects, probably apat lang yung muna yung gagawin mo. But for our case kasi, lahat ng subjects yung gagawin natin simultaneously. So marami tayong gagawin. Every week, I believe marami kayong requirements. That is why, especially for my advicees, no, for the BS and Sciences people, please, gawa kayo ng calendar. Gawa kayo ng listahan ng gagawin. Idikit nyo yan kung saan kayo parating gumagawa ng assignment or your study room or study place. Para naman wala kayong makaligtaan na submission. And then, the classroom has its feature not to accept any outputs after the indicated due date. I'm sure you're very familiar with that na by the time matapos yung due date, magko-close yan. Okay. That is why every time children, if you have problems about deadlines, you really have to talk to me. Do not talk with your friends. Do not talk with your parents. Kasi mag-rant sila. Do not talk or do not rant sa social media. Because those rants are very unethical, very unprofessional. Future teachers pa naman kayo, no? So that is the problem, no? Ito yung problema of being a teacher. All people, all eyes are nasa atin, no? Tinitingnan or hinihintay yung mga mali natin. So that is why, because you will be experiencing what we experience, so wag ninyong gawin yung mga bad habits. Like for example, yung very famous kasi common ngayon sa social media. They they ranted, they bash the teacher. Ako okay lang naman ako mabash. But then again, ang kawawa kasi is kayo in the future because you will be it is expected that you will experience the same type of bashing later on because children, we are not perfect. We can commit mistakes. We have decisions na meron talagang may decisions kasi yung decisions natin meron talaga yung consequences, di ba? So, wag natin yung gawin sa ating sarili, okay? That is why if you have problems on deadlines, no, you really have to talk to me because your parents, your friends, your cottage mate, your relatives, the social media cannot help you with a problem. If you have problems on the deadline, ay pagsasabi mo yan sa kung sino, ma-extend ba yung deadline? Hindi. Okay? That is why if you have problems about the subject, hindi lang to para sa akin but for your all teachers, kahit hindi approachable si teacher, hindi yan rason. If you have problem and concerns about the subject, direct it to the teacher. No, that is very ethical, very professional, and very humane way of dealing the problem. Okay? So, make sure pag may due date ako na nilagay, kasi di ba, I will be informing you by the time na mag-upload ako ng material, make sure to message me. No, sir, ang dami po namin gagawin, blah, 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 and so on. Ang pwede po ba na yung deadline na 2 weeks, pwede po ba nating maging 3 weeks po? Di ba, bongga talaga yung activity, 3 weeks, no? Anyway, hindi naman sa lahat ng oras ay yung mga suggestions at saka recommendations ninyo about the deadlines or whatsoever ay papayagan ko. Kasi titingnan ko din, babalansehin ko din, no? We should not forget that we are all students. Parang ganyan yung titingnan natin. We really have to work on it, no? There are really times na kailangan talaga, kasi meron times, no, nakadepende talaga yun sa teacher. There are really times talaga na nakikita ni teacher na I'm sure they can make it. Alam ko na kaya nilang 1 week. Kahit meron silang ganito, ganito, ganyan, kung titingnan ko yung activity, kayang-kaya talaga nila sagutin or i-submit for a week. Okay? So in a way, mapag-usapan naman or papag-usapan natin yan. Okay. Next, ang key lang talaga dito, children, is communication, no? Because maraming maraming namamatay sa maling akala. Ganun ba? No, we really have to talk. If you have problems, do not hesitate to message me as I am your advisor, di ba? So I am your subject teacher, so do not hesitate to ask anything from me. Wag lang yung money. Kasi hindi pa naman ako milyonaryo, no? Okay. Next, submission of outputs. This one is very crucial, especially sa setup natin ngayon, because we really can submit our work properly. So nilagay ko, since we will be doing this online, may nagtanong, sir, bakit talaga online? Bakit online yung submission, sir? Wala kaming internet, wala kaming gaanong internet, sir. Wala kaming gaanong gadget. Bakit online? Isn't it obvious na online talaga yung parang gagamitin natin? Kasi nga, you cannot travel to MSU Maine. You cannot go to College of Education. You cannot go to my office to submit the outputs, correct? You cannot go here in Iligan City and then punta ka sa bahay ko para mag-submit ng output, correct? I cannot always go there in Lanao del Sur because of the MECQ, no? And then, I cannot go to your places, no? I cannot go to Lanao del Sur, saan bang lugar sa Wao, sa Malabang. I cannot go to Maguindanao, to Cotabato, whatsoever, no? I cannot go there to pick up your outputs, correct? That is why wala tayong choice. And it's very obvious na lahat ng submissions natin would be online. Now, the nice thing there, the nice thing talaga is, of course, I know you have difficulties. That is why, ang nilagay ko dyan, thus, in submitting your output, no, you may use any means applicable in every submission. So, any means, like for example, yung iba, kung meron silang printer, meron silang laptop, meron silang internet connection, meron pa silang smartphone, di bongga. Like for example, if ever may activity sheet, pwede nilang, pwede nilang ma-download at saka i-print and then sagutan nila yung activity sheet, for example. Then para nila ma-submit sa akin, pwede nilang i-scan and then i-submit sa Google Classroom. Or yung iba, pwede naman na i-encode nila, bongga, social, at saka i-send, di ba? Sila yon. Pero pag ikaw ay, ang nalang sa'yo is cellphone or smartphone, ang gagawin nyo lang is, you have to read the activity. It is either, children, there are times really na ang gagawin ko talaga is copy and answer. Sir, copy and answer talaga yung activity, sir. Ang taas pa ng activity. There are really times na meron talagang copy and answer. Kasi nga, hindi yan ibig sabihin na consequence of not having a gadget, but that is what we call waste. no, ways yan, initiatives, being resourceful. So yan yung gagawin talaga natin para maitawid natin ito. No? So susulat nyo yan, and then right after pipicturan, and then upload it. Okay? Sa Google Classroom. Sir, kailangan po ba sa Google Classroom mag-submit? Okay. Yes, kailangan sa Google Classroom kasi nga meron tayong intended na lalagyan doon. No, if we're going to click the assignment, meron doon. Sir, hindi ko talaga ma-open yung Google Classroom. Ah, walang problema. Send it to my email. Sir, hindi din, sir. Nag-try ako nag-open ng email, sir. Hindi ko talaga ma-open kasi yung signal. Okay, send it to my FB Messenger personally. Okay? Dapat talaga, ang gagawin niyo, dapat yung file name is appropriate talaga. Dapat if you're going to message me outside Google Classroom or even in Google Classroom, dapat nakalagay talaga yung activity 1.1 yung details para alam ko, para hindi siya mawala. Okay? So walang rason, no? Kahit ma-stress ako mag-open lahat, I will open my Google Classroom, I will open my email every day, I will open FB Messenger para mahanap yung output ninyo, gagawin ko yan. Okay? Para wala tayong takas, no? Wala tayong rason na, ay, hindi ako makapag-submit kasi ang sabi ni Sir, Google Classroom lang. E paano yan? Wala kami internet. Tingnan ng internet namin. Hindi kami makapasok ng Google Classroom, blah, 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 and so on. Okay? So we all have the venue of submitting our output. Okay? As long as ito ha, ang pinaka-concern ko lang when it comes to submission, dapat lang meron akong nakita na nag-submit kayo. At the same time, yung sinubmit ninyo, dapat meron akong mabasa. That's the only concern. So kahit anong format yan, kahit anong format, kasi nga ako man yung merong privilege na strong internet connection at my laptop. So kahit anong format yan, as long as organized naman, at saka mababasa ko, meron akong ma-check, meron akong ma-record. Okay? So that is why nilagay ko, as long as it can be uploaded in the classroom, as long as it can be read, okay, that is okay. This time, children, initiatives and being resourceful are very essential and very important for this time. Okay? For that, please make sure to read the instructions before sending your outputs. Ito, dapat natin itong maging practice that before answering an activity or any item, you really have to read the instruction. And before sending the output to your teacher, go back to the instruction and read the instruction. Okay? And of course, cheating is a big no-no. Cheating for me is a big no-no. And then I believe in Islam, no? In Islam, cheating is a grave sin. So do not do that. Okay? Uh, I am not here to judge you. I do not know really personal. I don't know you personally. That is why, kahit ano man kayo, I will give you my 100% trust. Nakadepende na yan sa inyo kung babasagin niyo yung 100% trust ko. In a way, our God, nakikita tayo kung ano yung ginagawa natin, and we will suffer the consequences later. Not consequence, kundi consequences talaga of our bad behavior or attitude. Okay? For that, dapat, sir, kasi sir, gusto ko talagang i-search, sir. Hindi ko talaga alam yung definition. Okay, pwede. Search it on Google. For example, define photosynthesis. Meron kayong libro. Okay, nakita ko sa libro. Sa libro yun galing, hindi sa'yo. So make sure acknowledge kung saan yung kinuha. So please cite the book kung saan yung kinuha. Walang problema yan sa akin. Google ka, photosynthesis, kinuha mo for example sa Wikipedia, okay? Kinuha mo dyan, hindi galing sa'yo kundi sa Wikipedia, therefore cite Wikipedia. The most important thing there para safe kayo is that you have to acknowledge the owner of the idea. Do not own the idea. Diba, hindi natin gusto na agawan tayo. Okay? So, we will not do that also. Okay? I hope klarong-klaro po tayo, children. Ha? Okay. Next, honesty is the best policy. I think this is very common. Very common talaga sa classroom natin no, na nilalagay. Napaskill yan no, sa gilid. And then, now is no time to think of what you do not have. Do not think kung anong wala ka. Wala kong gaanong interconnection. I don't have money. I don't have the resources. But think of what you can do with what there is. And this is This is a very good statement for being initiative and being resourceful. And then, of course, you really have to get up and do something. If you don't do anything, walang mangyayari. Okay? That is why for this subject and for the whole semester at sa iba nyo pang subject, cooperation is the key. You really have to cooperate with your teacher para maging smooth at okay yung flow ng semester ninyo and of course your subject. Okay, it's already 10:36 and let's jump off sa subject natin and that is SCE135. Again, if you have questions, please ask it later sa Q&A portion. This is SCE135 Earth Science for Teachers. This three-unit course deals with the fundamental historical geology, geologic process such as rock formation. That is why this topic is very familiar with you. Minerals and soil, weathering, erosion, and mass movement, seismology for earthquake, volcanism, and plate tectonics will be emphasized. Issues concerning the importance, exploration, utilization, and conservation of mineral resources will also be dealt with. So this is the coverage of our subject. Let's try to look at now the components of your grade, children. So we have here three components. We have participation, we have individual outputs, and major examination. For participation, 5%. Saan ba yan galing, sir? Saan namin makukuha yung tinatawag na participation? You can get the participation every time we will be having this one. Okay? Virtual meetings. Sir, hindi po kami makapasok, sir. Paano yan, sir? So wala kaming 5%. You still have the 5%. As long as alam ko, you mentioned it to me na wala kang signal, alam ko na nandyan ka sa messenger, alam ko na nandyan ka. Okay? Anyway, yung participation naman, hindi lang yan nababase sa virtual meetings. Marami pang consideration. But this is one of those. Another we have is individual outputs. Lahat ng gagawin ninyo that will be that will be categorized sa individual outputs, no, la quizzes, assignment, activity sheets, ano. Sir, wala po bang group work? Wala. Unfortunately, wala tayong group work, no. That is why yung meron akong ma-change, merong magbabago, I don't know, titingnan ko. Mayroong magbabago sa module 1, no, kasi that is a group work. Titingnan ko muna. Okay? So individual output yan, and that is the highest component of your grade, individual output. So for you to pass the subject, dapat kompleto yung individual outputs na yan. Okay? And the next, we have major examination, that is 35%. We will be having 3 major exams, and all exams are online. And then time pressure. Okay? So gusto ko lang malaman nyo yan para naman makondisyon na natin yung self natin. Okay? That is major examination. And then the passing percentage for the subject is 75%. Okay. So para sigurado na makapasa, dapat i-secure natin itong 60%, and then secure natin to ng konti because participation probably nandiyan na yan. No? Okay. Okay, let's proceed to the Q&A.
Good
Any
morning, sir.
questions? Yes, good
Sir,
morning.
question lang po, sir, is every meeting po natin is mag-attendance or sa meeting lang talaga yung oras yung mag-attendance or what po, sir? Yung
By the
attendance.
way, itong meeting, itong virtual meeting, kung may attendance ba,
Yes, sir.
don't worry, the attendance of this is automatic. Meron akong ginawa sa Google Meet na mababasa nila lahat kung sino yung pumapasok automatically. So meron akong listahan. But again, the attendance is a big factor for me to identify the participation part. But kasi yung iba hindi kasi makakapasok. Basta alam ko na nandyan kayo, yun yung makikita ko sa listahan and then sa messenger, you can have the 5%. But for the assurance of everybody, lahat ng papasok dito sa Google Meet, every time we will be having a virtual meeting, automatic yan, meron akong listahan.
Okay po. Thank you, sir. So how about,
You're
sir,
welcome.
yung major exam namin, sir? Paano po
Yes, the
yung
exam.
pagbigay ng major exam?
Online siya. It's in Google Form. Naka-Google Form siya.
Sa major exam po, sir, before mag-take kami ng major exam, can we review first? Parang i-review muna kami bago kami mag-take ng exam.
Yes, we can have that. Yes, we can have that. Anyway, if we're going to look at our setup sa SCE135, kung titingnan ninyo, 'di ba, meron dong isang week na walang module because the whole week will be the preparation of your exam. Is that clear, Joyna?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Next question. Next question. Wala? Wala na? Okay. If you don't have any questions, I would like to say thank you so much for coming in, and we will see each other sa Google Classroom natin. We will be doing the first module, but please wait for my instruction. No? Wait for my instruction kasi i-upload ko pa yung module. Meron pa yung module talaga, no? Naka-PDF file siya. I will be posting it sa Google Classroom. And then, always wait for my instruction, no? Na pwede nyo yung gawin yung module 1. Okay? Sige. Any questions?
Sir, hello sir.
Yes,
Clarification lang po. Hindi ko kasi masyado narinig. So, ilan po ka% yung individual output, sir?
60%. The highest
60%.
percentage. Yes, dear.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Meron nag-question sa chat. Let me check. Sir, about the PDF, sir, di po ma-download, ma-view po yung syllabus. Okay. Please, if you can download, for you all, if you can download, kasi basic natin yung PDF, if you can download Adobe Reader, please download Adobe Reader. No? Yun yung file kasi. Hindi siya ma-download. Hindi ba natin ma-download? Lahat ba hindi ma-download? Sino na
Yes,
yung
sir.
naka-download?
Dili ma-download yun siya.
Junaid, hindi mo siya na-download?
Hindi po siya ma-download, sir.
Nakalagay po is drive file.
Uh-huh. Stay with me, sir.
Na-download ko po through WPS.
Okay, sige. Anyway, yes, Joanna, na-download daw ni Joanna through WPS. Pwede din.
Yes.
You can use WPS. How about Elmer?
Di siya ma-download, sir. PDI. Kuan siya. Drive Japon siya nga file.
Unsay mo gawas? Can someone send me a screenshot? We tried po and keep on clicking the file. Okay. Papakita ko sa inyo. Siguro ito yung lalabas. Sadali lang ha. So I will show you. Okay, by the way, remember this is our classroom. Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Pag-click ninyo, pag-click ninyo yung file, parang ito yung lalabas, parang dito.
Oh, yung anak. Yes, sir. Ganyan talaga.
Dito. Yung iba kasi, for example, ito yung lalabas, no? You have to open it. Ano ba yung lalabas sa inyo? Kasi phone, no? I'll try, I'll, I'll try doing it on my phone and then I'll give instruction. Anyway, I promise kasi na I'll be giving a picture of this, no? If you're using a laptop, hindi to siya, wala kayong makikitang download dito. All you have to do is click the three buttons here sa gilid, and then kailangan talaga siyang ma-open in new window. And then that's the time na lalabas ito, and then merong arrow na pababa. That is the download. So pwede na siyang ma-download. For those who are using laptops, no? Okay? Or again, ayan. So kailangan niyo siyang i-open on the other window. Sige lang, I'll be exploring it with my phone and then I'll give you instruction how to download it. Okay. By the way, again, before we will end, this is our Google Classroom, no? Nandyan yan lahat. And then, wala pa yung due date, so I will be giving you due dates pa dyan and specific instruction. So, wag mo na yung sagutin ano. Question so far. Another question.
Sir,
Yes.
yung sa syllables po, sir, yung about sa itong jingle composition rubrics, ano po yun?
Yes. Rubric. Rubric. Yung rubric. Scoring
Jing-
guide siya.
okay. Itong jingle composition rubric. Okay.
A jingle composition rubric is a rubric or a scoring guide for jingle composition. That is how I will be grading you sa jingle composition. Because one of the activities sa Module 1 kasi is jingle composition. So yun pa yung iniisip ko kung kaya ba siyang maging group output or individual out. Yung groupings kasi hindi ko gaano ma-imagine yung groupings kasi nga because of the distances, no? But if pwede natin gawin. But sir, na-download ko po siya via Google Drive. Hindi PDF files po na-download doon. Okay. Through Google Drive. Okay. And then, yun, try nyo i-open through Google Slide. Okay. So yun ha, if ever yung instructions for the module 1, I will be recreating again the instruction for the module 1 and so on. Any questions? Wala na bang questions? Again, for you to download kasi yung iba PDF file talaga if you're going to look at. So titingnan ko with the use of my phone, di ba, yung ginamit niyo is the Google Classroom app. So I will be exploring it and I will be uploading the instruction sa Google Classroom and FB Messenger. Questions? Wala
Hello,
na?
sir. Sir,
Yes.
regarding
Attorney.
po sa grading system po, sir, pwede po bang manulat kasi di po kasi nakakonek kanina.
Okay. Anyway, I'll be giving you a copy of the presentation. I will upload it naman sa Google Classroom.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you po.
You're
Sir,
welcome. Any more question? Yes, Hafsa.
share ko lang guys. Try niyo sa e-reader application, e-reader Prestigio na application. Very easy siya mag-download ng PDF. Yun lang. E-reader Prestigio po na app.
Si pasulat na lang siguro Hafsa sa chat. Kaya okay ba?
Sige
Or
sir.
sa
Yes, sir.
Messenger, okay. Okay, any more questions? Queries? Wala na. So thank you so much for coming in. Again, if you have problems with regards to the subject, please do not forget or do not hesitate to message me in any ways, sa cell phone man or whatsoever, because all of my communications are now open. And then I will reply you as long as I am still awake. On the average, I'm still awake 12 midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Again, as long as I am awake, I will reply you. Okay? So if you don't have any questions, kindly open your camera because we'll be having our picture taking as evidence. These are my beautiful and handsome advices, no? Yes, in sciences and all. Yes, thank you so much, Naya. Okay. Okay, smile. Don't worry, yung mga nakanikap, alam ko nakasmile kayo kasi ang ganda ng yung sa mata. No? Nakikita ko talaga yan. Okay, smile everyone. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Last one. Okay. Thank you so much for coming in. Again, if you have
Yes,
questions, do
sir.
not hesitate. Wag mahiyang magtanong. Okay? Goodbye, everyone. You can now exit the room.
Thank you,
Goodbye,
sir.
sir. Thank you.
Goodbye, sir. Thank you,
Bye
sir.
bye.
Sir.
Bye bye. You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, bye, sir.
Bye bye.